are fine. First of all, we will discuss the outlines, then we will go towards our lecture. First of all, in our first part, we will discuss the key features of resource management. Resources means in any organization, the buildings, the humans, the machinery, all the things that are services that we are using to run our business is the resource. There are different type of resources are available, human resources and non-human resources. So in first part, we will discuss and we will try to understand the key features of resource management, how we can manage these resources in an effective way. So in the 1.1, we will analyze the different resource requirements of the organization in different sectors of the economy, because the economy or our budget is the main part and that impact over revenue and other things. So we will discuss which are the requirements behind that. Then we will outline the key requirements relevant to the resource management in an organization in different sectors of economy. Like in economy, we have budget system, in salary system, over revenue. So we will try to understand all these other departments. Now, in the second part, we will try to understand the importance of effective use of physical resources, the resources that are in our surrounding, excluding the services and the physical resources. Either these are the machines, these are the humans. So we will discuss these, evaluate how to use the physical resources is monitored and managed. We will try to assign the task according to their skills if we are trying to manage our human resources, and we will go towards the maintenance of our other resources like our machines. Then we will evaluate the impact of resource wastage. If we are not managing our resources in proper way, what will be the impact? If we are going towards the wastage, like we are not getting the expiry dates of any product, and before the complaint or before the selling of that product will got expired, will considered as resource wastage. And in case of human resources, we can say that if a person don't have the skills according to the task, but we are assigning the task not similar to the skills there, in other words, we can say that we are also wasting our resource. So we will discuss the resource wastage impact, and then we will assess the cost of high profile technological failures. We will discuss different big projects, international projects that will got failure due to different reasons. So why they got fail, we will study about the reasons behind that. Then we will assess the business case for the use of ethical and sustainable resources. So we will understand how we can manage these resources, and how our business can utilize these resources. In third part, we will understand how the we can maximize the effectiveness of human resources, in which we will discuss the reward systems and different other techniques of monitoring, and we will try to read different theories through which we can improve the performance of our employees. Like we will assess the need of human resource planning in the workplace. We will use motivational theories to analyze what motivates different people. We will evaluate the methods used to monitor and improve the performance of the employee, and we will assess the effectiveness of reward system in different contents. So we will study about the concepts that can not only go towards the management of human resources, it will also about the improvement of performance inside the human resources, and we will discuss different ways through which we can monitor the performance of human resources. Now, in the last fourth point, we will discuss how we can be able to review the effective use of the resources. So we will monitor the use of physical resources against the performance measures and the procedures. So we will take different examples and we will monitor the performance of the resources. Then we will analyze data on the employee performance, and in the last, we can generate a report on the effective use of human and the physical resources. So these are the topics. One by one, we will discuss all these topics, and um, we will understand the key features of the resource management in different things. There are different examples like raw materials, equipment. These are the different resources like technology, facilities, time. We will understand the requirements like we need health and safety. We have different disposals, impact on the environment. So we will discuss all these subtopics one by one. So in that outline, we can understand which things we are going to study. Now we will start our lecture, that is over about the resources and their key features of resources. As we discussed in the outline, we have a brief idea what are the resources. Resources means anything that facilitate us to provide any services to the customer and any product to our customer. That resource can be a building, that resource can be a machine, that resource can be a human. So all the things that involve to perform any task to facilitate our customers or facilitate the people are our resources. So resources are financial, labor, physical space, equipment, technology, and also the time. So resources are essential to reach your goal, whether that be completing a task or a project or helping you to analyze what is necessary to do. Either we are planning all the things or we are trying to check that why our business is not going towards the growth. So, although we are using any tool or any building or any person, that is a kind of resource. Now, what is meant by resource management? Now, management is a good way to utilize all the things in a best way. So, in that management, we will try to plan, then we will schedule and allocate people, money, and technology to a project or a program. So we will do the planning. If we are not planning anything and we don't know what can happen in the future, we don't know the challenges, we don't know the requirements of the future, and we are not decided the deadlines to meet any task, so it will not be a good way to do any project. So it can be uncertainties can be more as compared to the planned project. So we have to do the planning, scheduling, and allocating, that is known as over resource management. So it is, in other words, or briefly, we can say that it is a process of allocating resources to achieve the greatest organizational values. As we know, today is very competitive market in which we have to survive. So whenever we are doing our best planning and we are trying to facilitate the user in more effective way, so we have to manage our resources in the best way. Now, why we need resource management? The resource management plan enables businesses to utilize the skilled workforce and improve the profitability. Like, if anyone is going to do the business, the first and the basic purpose of doing any business is to earn the profit from the business. So when we are utilizing our resources in the best way, it can increase our profit ratio, and we have a better idea which skill persons are available in our organization and how we can achieve the maximum productivity by utilizing their skills. So that management plays a significant role in improving the business profitability and the sustainability. We are not going to earn the profit only at once. We will maintain that mm, profit ratio, or we will try to increase the profit ratio. We don't want to go towards the loss. So it also enables to minimize both idle time and the overutilization of resources. If we are overburdenizing our resource, sometimes it will also be a cause of our failure. So with full visibility, both work and resources, you can more effectively schedule, plan, and manage your resources, align them with the right projects at the right time. So when we are planning the things in advance, it will be beneficial for us. Now, these are the some benefits. We will discuss these benefits one by one. It will improve the project success, predictable project timeline, more accurate estimates, improve the profitability, better employee satisfaction, effective use of resources, better informed hiring decisions, improve project flow, and predictable patterns for the success. Now we will discuss these benefits one by one. First one is improved project success. If we are sure about the timelines, the and we are in the communication with our customer and we know what task we have to do at what time, it will be more there are more chances of the success. So most project managers know that in order to deliver a successful project, one needs a successful plan in place. If we are not planning, there are more chances of failure. So a resource plan acts as a roadmap for project success, helping to detail which resources are needed at what time, as well as which deliverables will be expected at what times. Now we are not going towards in a scenario where we have to deliver all the things in the last. We are trying to adopt a approach in which we are delivering all the things after some phases of time. Like if we have a order of 2000 products, are not waiting to deliver 2000 products at after 2 months or after 3 months. We will divide over project in different small chunks, and we will deliver these things after 1 week, after 2 weeks. So we will divide our products, and are trying to get some running system all and we are not waiting for the end time and then we are delivering. When we do so, nobody have such time to wait, so we have to adopt the system in which we will deliver the things, and if there is any issue in the product, we can update that product time to time, so there will be less chances of the dissatisfaction of our customers. So think of it's having a map to cross a desert. Like that is a common example. If we are trying to cross any desert and we have not planned anything, we have not see the map of that desert, and we don't have the map of that desert, and we are trying to cross it blindly. The traveler with a map will have a much higher likelihood of reaching his or her destination safely and effectively. On the other hand, if we are trying to cross that desert blindly, there are much chances of the failure. We will not be able to go towards the destination. Predictable project timeline. When we are dividing our task into subtasks or into smaller chunks, we can assign the timelines. Like we can assign different time durations to each task, so we will be sure about our we are very predictable to guess how much time will be required to deliver all the products towards our customers. So one of the main reasons of the project managers rely on the resource management plan is to set the realistic expectations with the client or stakeholder about the project timeline. Now the facilitators and the customers both know when which thing has to do. So the resource management plan includes a detailed timeline of resource use and project progress, including the detailing when specific project deliverables can be expected to deliver. So resource management takes a guesswork out of the project timeline, helping set expectations with stakeholders as well as providing a baseline for the project managers to measure the project progress. So at every step, we have a vision about the challenges and about the progress and about our roadmap. Now, more accurate estimate. When we are sure about the challenge and we have the idea how much time is required, and either our customer is satisfied or not, and we are communicating with our customer, so we can be more accurate about the estimates. Like it can sometimes be difficult to estimate a project, especially if a project is new for us. We have not
provided such services to the customer, and that's our first time we are starting our new area or new project. So it will be more difficult as compared to the projects on which we already have done the work. So this is one of the reason resource management is important. With a good resource management process, it is easier to create more accurate estimate. Although we are working on a new project, so this is because the project manager can more accurately break down which resources will be needed to complete a project as well as the associated cost, empowering the salesperson or manager to more accurately calculate the project cost and profit margin. Because before starting off our project, we will plan each and everything about the budget, about how many persons are required, how much time will be taken. So we will plan each and everything. It also provides a record of historical data from the previous resource plans and projects to better inform budgets for the new projects. So we have a record about our projects, and we can learn from our past experience. And also, if we have done any mistake in the future, we can rectify that mistakes. Now, improve the profitability because of the improved insight into a actual project cost. Organizations can use the management to improve their overall profitability, because we are trying to manage each and everything, and we are trying to use all the things at their maximum level, and we are trying to increase the efficiency. So in the last, we not only getting the success, but also it will increase the profit ratio of our success. So one of the biggest challenge in the profitability, especially in the professional service companies, is attributing cost to actual projects. So we have to estimate the budget for our project, then we can be sure about our profit ratio. So resource management simplifies this process, especially when the company uses a resource management tool, will help to better predict and track the resource use. So this is turn informs more educated project estimates and the profit margins. Better employee satisfaction when we are assigning the task according to the employee skills, and also we are checking or monitoring, either we uh, assign the things according to their skill set and according to their capability or according to their available work. And there is no person that is overworked or overburdened. So there is a monitoring system in the project management and resource management. It will be a cause of better employee satisfaction. So an employee who is overworked, constantly behind schedule, or taking part in too many simultaneous projects is going to feel burdened and dissatisfied with their job. If we are not monitoring the system, there are the chances we have assigned a lot of tasks to a person, or one person is doing multiple projects at the same time. So we have to go towards the resource management through which we can monitor the burden or the schedule of each and every employee. So this is why management in as is an important asset to the company. So the resource management quantifies the work an employee has on his or her plate, and helps project manager make more strategic decisions about who to include on the new projects and when to do so. So we can check that which employees are not engaged in the multiple projects, or who are engaged in the less projects. So we will assign the new projects towards that employees. So this helps to prevent work overload, which can improve the employee morale, also the satisfaction of the employee. We can effectively use our resources, like a machine has to be utilized by 3 or 4 projects. So we will manage the time in which we can utilize that resource in the multiple projects. There is no need to replace the machine or purchase new machine. We will manage the work of that resource, so multiple projects can utilize that resource, so we can effectively use our resources. So while not overloading the employee is one side of the project management coin, and the other one is that we are not making the employee at the rest mode or on the idle mode. So we have to ensure that the company is making the most of the resources they have. So we have to assign work to all the employees available in the company. So this is especially true in the companies that have limited resources, because we have to do the multiple projects, but we have to utilize the resources already available in our company. So the resource management is important to see what percentage of resource time is currently being used. Like if we have 6 hours in a day to work, we have to utilize our resource up to 5 hours. So we have to take a record and we have to monitor the working time of our resources. So by doing so, we can judge that who is being used and who is available, ensuring more balanced workload and more effective use of our resources. Now, better informed hiring decisions. When we have a advanced plan about our resources, we are sure about the hiring. Like if we have 6 to 7 projects in pipeline for the future, and we have an idea who will get got occupied and who is free, and we can analyze for the new projects we don't have the sufficient resources, then we can go towards the hirings. So this is a recurring state in the growth cycle where workload exceeds available resources when we have more work but we have less resources. However, this state can be difficult to pinpoint without an effective use of resource management. With effective resource management, however, project managers can not only track when they are running short on the resources. So before the time we can hire new persons and we can train that person, or we can judge that if we have to hire the permanent employees or we have to hire the employees for a specific project, but can also see which projects are in the pipeline and which resource needs are pending. So this can help to provide the better insight into whether the current resource pool is sufficient to manage current and the pending project needs, are whether we have to hire the new or temporary employees to fulfill our requirements. It will improve the project flow when we have a better vision about the completion of our project. We can easily work in a flow. So the resource management is important for filling the gap between where you are now and where you want to go. And we can easily determine the times. So it helps to create a map for the project, helping the project to move between the departments if needed, because we have to manage all the things and we have to do the work on the multiple projects at the same time. So we can shift our workload from one department to another department. So we can divide our time more accurately and more smoothly and efficiently by setting the expectations and improving communication and visibility. Project managers can find the project's flow much more smoother. Predictable patterns for the success. When we are doing all the things in a right way, there are the more chances of the success. So once a project has been successfully completed, a resource management plan allows a project manager to more easily replicate the success. So some project management softwares allows you to transform a successful project into a resource management template. When we have done all the things right, we can use that roadmap or that planning or that use of the resources in as a template, and by adding some new things in that template, we can work on the new projects and we can be more sure about our success. Now, how we can manage these resources? There are different techniques in which we can maximize the resource efficiency, and it helps leaders to make smarter resource decisions. And these techniques are for the resource allocation, resource utilization, resource relieving, and resource forecasting. How we can allocate the resource, how we can utilize the resource when we have to relieve any resource from a project, and how we can see the forecast about the resources. First, resource allocation involves more than just assigning resource to the project. We are not randomly assigning any resource to any project. We have to estimate the skills of that resources and how we can maximize utilize that resource. So it considered the skills your team brings to able. So we have to generate a team, or we have to make a best team for a project who have the skills to do that project, so they can work on a same platform or on a single table. So allocation reports will enable you to filter resources by skill and capacity, so you can not only see who is available, but we can also match the skills. Either these skills are relevant to the project or not. So we are not only assigning the project or the task to the available resources, we also have to check the skill set of that resource. Resource utilization. Now we have to utilize over resource. We have to allocate, like we have allocate 10 persons to a project according to their skill. Now it's time to utilize that resource. So the resource utilization is a resource management technique that enables to gain the visibility into the capacity of your team over a period of time and identify whether the resource are being over or underutilized. Sometimes we are assigning small works to over more experienced and more skilled person, and sometimes we are assigning a lot of work to the skilled person, and we have involved that person into 4 to 5 projects. So that is over situation, and if we are not assigning the much work to our skilled person, that is underutilization. So we have to monitor both things. So this is critical because studies shows that the resource who are overutilized frequently experience burnout, and there are the chances he or she will leave your organization, and you are on near to loss your asset of the company. So we have to monitor, and we should try to not overburdenize any resource. So utilization reports reveals where the resources are spending their time, so you can see if there are opportunities to improve their effectiveness, productivities, performance, while keeping their workload manageable. Resource leveling. Resource leveling is used to balance the demand and the supply. Means that we are going to start the new project that needs 5 persons, and we have 4 persons in our organization at that time who are available. So we have to balance over demand and over supply. So that is known as resource leveling. So we have to manage the 4th person for start of that project. So it is important process to maximize the resource across one or more projects based on their skills, getting the most value out of the resource you already have before you consider adding headcount or hiring a new contractor. So first of all, we will analyze either we have sufficient resources in our organization or not. If we don't have sufficient resources, then we will go towards the hiring. So people often have the different skill sets, many of which are underutilized. So there are the chances we can go towards the training and we can upgrade their skill set. So training of the employee is better than the rehiring or hiring the new resources. So we have to go towards the growth of our employees. So the goal of this resource management technique is to understand all of the skills your people have and where they may be able to fill the gaps, so you can minimize your resource spent.